Okay, fine. So before starting, I hope you guys already have an experience with some other cloud computing, right? So can I know what is cloud computing so that we can start with that? So what is cloud computing? So from your knowledge.
So trying to access the resource data remotely.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So actually, so we have a if you want to start a business or if the organization is there, okay, so they need some resource to start the for the whatever it may be, it's it's related to the development. Let's take for a development. So they need a resource, right? So they need a system and CPU and a lot of things we need. And the cost of that infrastructure, it is really going to increase if, let's say for an example, I have a let's talk a real time experience with Amazon. Okay, so what Amazon is doing, so Amazon is in the in particular months. So if you see in this December or on the January, you can see a lot of customers will be coming into the online purchasing, and there are a lot of things will be going on because of this Christmas and the new year, right? So the whole world is going to get some product from online. So if that is a case, okay, if that is a case, and that peak hours alone, they need a more infrastructure to work. Am I right? So if I use the physical infrastructure, so my organization is going to give a lot of money on that. So I don't want to go for it. So whoever is starting a new business, they are mostly going to the cloud computing. So what is this cloud computing is actually is, you are going to you can easily get the virtual. It is maybe it is it's your network or it is your resource, whatever, you can get it virtually from this cloud computing. So if example the same, we can go with Amazon. So if Amazon is using a cloud computing, okay, we already know, so the Amazon is using a cloud computing, right? So they have a AWS. So in the peak hours alone, they will be buying some extra services. Okay, so that's going to help them. So this is the main reason why we are going to learn. The students is are going to learn about this cloud computing part. Clear, everyone? So let's get into the topic. So here in our the students subject, so we have a different parts like the portal which the students are going to use is Azure. So can anyone knows apart from this like cloud computing, what are the other providers we have? What are
Google
the other
Cloud, we have IBM,
cloud? Yeah,
IBM, we
AWS.
have AWS, we have Microsoft Azure, we have. These are the servers. I mean to say these are these service providers.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so one of that. So here, we are sponsoring the students are sponsored by Microsoft and SAP, right? So mostly the Microsoft is providing a that is no that is a provider which we are going to use. So Microsoft Azure, a provider. So that is a that's a portal which we are going to use on a real time basis for the students. And one more important thing, for this particular activities, for this is a foundation, just a foundation. We are not going with a full stack web development. So we are not offering portal link with the students, or we should not give any access to the students. Clear? So once we create the whatever the resource we can create as a trainer, but don't give the access to the students. That is the first thing. And the next thing is, today I will giving you the access for the Azure portal. I'll be giving you the owner permission, so you can create your pages, whatever you are doing. Okay, you can do it. But once you complete your course, that is on the sixth day, you have to remove all the, or you can delete all the resources which you have created. Clear? I hope everyone is getting my point. Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, Soma.
Okay, fine, fine. So Azure Virtual Network and VNet and implementation mechanism of Linux VM and understand the career opportunity. So mainly we are focusing to the students like after learning this particular things how they can get an opportunity. So that also we will see it in the slide. So applications of Azure Virtual Network. So these are the applications, it's in the Azure Virtual Networks like network isolation, subnetting, security, hybrid connectivity, private IP addressing. There are so many. And these are, all of introduction part. Okay, and we'll be having a theory things. 1 minute. So before understanding about the Azure portal, so let's have a basic thing of a cloud computing. So real life examples and applications of cloud computing. So this cloud computing has been used in real time also. So in the real time, so what are the different sectors and areas are using this cloud computing, so that they have mentioned. So you can also tell the students these are the life real life examples, and so that they can the students also get an eager to understand about this particular topic. Okay, so mainly they are using in online storage and backup and software as a services and streaming services, social media, gaming, e-commerce, healthcare, finance and banking, and education, IoT. So IoT nowadays it is it is booming, right? So here you can tell all these examples to the students. So what is cloud computing? So this is a basic definition. So means providing a software and hardware services over some network, mostly a internet. So these softwares and hardware services include the so a lot of compute services are there. So once we get into the portal, so we can see a lot of services which is provided by Azure. So this is all about the cloud computing. So if you want to know more about it, you can just go to the notes. This is for a trainer purpose. We have given this notes. Okay, you can also refer this. So cloud computing is a technology that acts as a backbone of harnessing the power of all IR 4.0 like artificial intelligence. IR means that is a revolutionary. Okay, so this is a 4.0 like for all the technologies like artificial intelligence, internet of thinking, web technologies, cyber security, blockchain and data analysis, big data and so on. For all these technologies we are using this cloud computing. In a simple word, what is a cloud computing, so which we already seen in the slide. Okay, so introduction to Microsoft Azure. So what is the introduction? As the name suggests, is a cloud platform from Microsoft, which I already told you. So it is a continually expanding set of cloud services that helps an organization meet its current and future business challenges. Okay, so whatever the challenges comes, we can easily get rectified, and we can communicate with the cloud services. Okay, and we can get appropriate features according to our business deal. So why Microsoft Azure? So why we need to go for this? We have a lot of cloud computing providers are there. So then why we need to switch into Microsoft Azure? So let's say the scenario: a group of students have a great business idea. They plan to develop it and start a production. For that, they need to buy a new computing resources and variety of software licenses. For let's say if I have a system, okay, and I want to put OS on it, so definitely I need to purchase it from it is automatically been installed. But if it is for some 10 system, or if it is going to be for more than 20 systems, then the cost will be very high, right? So for a company organization also, will be getting some product keys and we will be using it for the multiple systems, but the count will be very less, right? The license will be a problem. And then buying and understanding the entire setup is really a hectic task. Why? Because um we are into the development. Let's say the students are into the development and they are focusing on the coding part, which they are doing. Okay. But if something has happened on my system, or whatever the problem is coming, the infrastructure related things I'm talking about, so what happened? Your development will be, shut down for some while, so that infrastructure will be working on it if there is some problem. So this is really, impact our business deal. So because we have some certain deadlines to complete, right? So that may miss. So that will be a problem. So here, a time consuming and costly. So time consuming and costly, and requires a physical space with sufficient power and cooling. It's needed. Okay, that is a problem here. The scenario. So this is a real time scenario. So now, how maintain and manage them requires us experts. So infrastructure is a different thing, right? So the different person will be recruited for that particular infrastructure, so they will be working on it. So for that we need a experts, and normal freshers cannot work on it. So we need a experts and acquire maximum computing resources that needed than needed, and ending up with a less utilizations. So whatever you are trying to, you are focusing on it, you will not do it properly. So that is a problem, and focusing more on troubleshooting at the infrastructure level. So you will be keep on troubleshooting, so what's happening on the infrastructure, so then the end business goal. So what Microsoft Azure provides? So first is high availability. So high availability will be there, and scalability. Scalability in the sense, so I already told some example, right, related to Amazon. So what Amazon did, so if the customer, let's take 100 customers are there in December or January, I'm getting some 200 customers. Just an example. Okay. So if it is getting increase, then what happened? The scalability is goes up and down. After January, it will come down, right? Scales down. So scale up and down is possible in the in the real time scenarios. Then we can use this. The scalability is possible in, so it will be handled easily through the Microsoft Azure. And then elasticity. So elasticity is again. So anyone knows what is elasticity? No idea. Elasticity. Okay. So it is, just to, so for example, I have a resource and I need to increase or decrease the resource. So then that is going to be called as a what? Elasticity. Okay. And something called as agility, geo distributions, and disaster recovery. So these are the, some kind of examples we can say why we are switching into Microsoft Azure, especially. And cloud deployment and service delivery models. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Yes or no?
Yes, it's audible.
Okay, okay. Thank you. We're not responding. That's why I'm thinking. Okay. So cloud deployment and service delivery models. So what is first deployment? Deployment is a usage. Okay. So how we are going to use a product. Okay. A company is there and they are approaching some provider. Okay. And that a company. So I have some, let's take, I have a three companies, A, B, and C. So A organization is having a limited number of employees, and B organization is having a unlimited of customers. And we can say in the third organization, I have, I am going to use up both the things like A and B. I'm going to combine the private and the public cloud. So these are the three scenarios. Okay. So do you think the usage will be similar for all these? Yes. Chandika Morgan, sir, you have raised your hand.
Yes, yes. Sorry, I was just joined now. Could you please tell me what was the session? I was delayed by some meetings.
Okay,
So
okay.
just tell
So
me
we
what was
were,
the.
yes, we were discussing about cloud computing and Microsoft Azure.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So that is a last day topic. So that's what we are discussing. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
So to simply say, like, can anyone tell me what is cloud computing so that you come to know what it is?
So cloud computing is nothing but based on the infrastructure, how much you pay, how much you take.
Hmm.
As you
Okay,
pay,
great.
as you take.
Okay, so actually the usages in a real time, we will using some different resources and it takes a lot of money from an organization. So to reduce that cost, we are going with this cloud computing. So that is a main purpose. That's why the organization are switching into cloud computing part. Clear, sir? And here in the we have different providers for each and every products. Like Google, they are using a Google Cloud, and IBM is using a IBM Cloud. Sorry, there is Google Platform, and then Amazon using a Amazon that is AWS, and for Microsoft is using Microsoft Azure. Okay, so here for the students, we are that is sponsoring from Microsoft. So they have given this product, that is Microsoft Azure portal. Clear? Okay, so now I hope you have cleared, but if you have any doubts, you just ask me. Okay. So next is private cloud. So what is called private cloud? So private cloud is operated solely for a single organization. Let's take for an example. If I have a limited number of employees, let's consider like 10 to 20 employees are there. I'm sorry. Okay, 10 to 20 employees are there, and I don't want to buy infrastructure. I don't want to spend more money on the resource, so that I'm just switching into the cloud computing part. I was checking with all the other things. Okay, and my whatever the employees are going to use, it should be secured one. Okay, the security is very, very important, so that we can go with this private cloud. If the employee is very less and the we need more security, then we can go with the private cloud. Okay, and what is called community cloud? So community cloud is example. Um, let's say if I want to, so it is shared by the several entities that have a common purpose. So what are the common purpose sectors we have, like research and developments, right? So in a research and developments, what they are doing, so it is not a single thing, right? So it is not a single person who are using it. There are multiple developers, and the research peoples will be working. So for that, we will going with this particular part that is called as a community cloud. So maybe on a premises or off premises, and this is shared by the several entities that have a common purpose. And what is called public cloud? Public cloud means it's available to the general public and owned by a single organization selling a cloud services. So this for this one, I can for private cloud, I can give you an example for SBI. The bankings are using the private cloud, and community cloud we can say for this BBC, and for public cloud, I can say the example like Netflix. Okay, Netflix in a video streaming. So there will be a lot of customers will be there, and we'll be organizing it. So I need a public cloud, but that is not secured one. The security will be given from the private cloud alone. And what is called hybrid cloud? Hybrid cloud is any combination of two or more private or community or public clouds. So we are going to combine all the things. Then we can go to this hybrid cloud. So they given the explanation of it. You can just look into that. So cloud services are offered on a private infrastructure, and most of the time a private cloud is for the internal developers and misses most if not all the benefits of the cloud and similar to an on-premise data center. And community cloud, specific group of users band together to build a community cloud. Public cloud, so already told you. So public cloud, every online user is using at least a few services deployed on the public cloud. We can say like this one, what is that? Dropbox, OneDrive. Okay, these are the public cloud. And hybrid cloud, hybrid cloud combines and unifies the public cloud and private and on-premises infrastructure to create a single, flexible, and cost-optimal IT infrastructures. So now we understood how we are going to choose the deployment, the usage. So whether it is going to be a private or public or hybrid, or it is going to be, a community cloud. So now, what are the servers they are going to provide? There are different servers they are providing. Servers in the sense how the user or the purchasing people going to use that particular cloud. So service models is like three. We have infrastructure as a service. We have a lot more, but these three are mostly used. Platform as a service and software as a service. So for better understanding, I can show you one image. Cloud computing service models. Let me show it as an image. Okay, let's take this image. I hope this image is visible to everyone. So here you can see on premises what happened. We are having application runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, server, storage, and networking. There are a lot of things we need for a on-premises. If you're going to start a business, then you need to buy or purchase all the things physically. Am I right? But when it comes to cloud computing, and we don't want to purchase this, and we are going to purchase, but it is going to be a virtual one. So here in IaaS means infrastructure as a service. In infrastructure as a service, so this part we can use. Okay, applications, runtime, middleware, and OS. This we can change and we can alter whatever the permission which is given here, we can do it. But this is entirely depend on the vendors who have given this. Especially if we go with Azure, so Azure, the Microsoft is going to be the vendor who is going to organize these things, virtualization, server, storage, and networking. The only part is we can work on the above layers, OS, middleware, runtime, and applications. And what is PaaS? PaaS means a platform as a service. Platform as a service means this is again for a vendor, that is others, manages, but you are going to manage what? Applications and runtime. When it comes to a SaaS, software as a service, you're not going to manage anything. You're just going to work on the application. So that is a SaaS. Clear? So now we will understand so how, what are the definitions and the benefits of each and every services. So most basic from services, virtual hardware resources and system softwares. The consumer installs and manage the needed software, high control, but high engagement. We need on this infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service can be used to develop application by the service consumers. allow to write a code and configure the service. So this is actually, this platform as a service will be helpful for the developers. A vendor manages the underlying infrastructure. Software as a services, everything is managed by the vendor. You only configure and use it through the web browsers. Common examples are Google services like Docs, Calendar, Sheets, or Microsoft Office 365. So these are the things, the example for the software as a service. So now I think networking, you already have an idea. So let's have a little discussion about it. So fundamentals of networking. So when you connect two or more than two computing devices together, they become connected by a network, right? So here we have one user. There is one user, and we are connecting the user through the networking. So this connection may be wired or wireless. So let's, very simple. You can go with the very simple, but it is not related to networking. So I'm just telling you. So I have a headphone. So we have two types of headphones, right? So one is I'll be having a wired one, and the another one is wireless. Like this, the same thing we are going to apply it. We are going to see it in the networking. So there are different nodes. How we are going to connect it. This no, the connection maintenance and the administration of this network is called as a networking. What are the different types of networks we have? So LAN, MAN, and WAN. So local area network. So what is called local area network? If it is going to be within a 60 kilometer, that is 16 kilometer radius, we can connect within a home or colleges, then we can go with a LAN, local area network. So metropolitan area network is something we can use it on a metropolitan cities, and so the previous one LAN is going to be a cable, and this metropolitan area network, again we can connect, this also within a colony we can consider real time, like within a colony we can connect this. So, and what is WAN? So wide area network. Wide area network is a simple example, internet, right? So World Wide Web. So we can, we are just hosting our website, and it is connected to that particular server without any wire, right? So that is a simple example for all these things. And topologies. I think most of you were aware about this topologies, yes or no? Or you want to brush up this?
Yes, we are a little bit aware of it. You can just say what is what and you can move on.
Okay, fine. Okay, then so bus topology, ring, and stars. So let me explain in this. So bus topology means the systems are connected with a common data transfer line. So the layout is cheap but vulnerable to failure, and only suitable for a low traffic volume. So very simply, we can say the bus topology is like how the diagrammatic representation you can tell to the students. So how we can connect the things. So bus topology. So what do you think? How it will be connected? So how it will be collected for all the, from the name itself we can tell. So how it is going to be connected, right? So how we can
Like
connect this?
all the systems will be connected in a single line where we'll have a start and ending terminal.
Like in parallel way.
Okay, okay. So it is connected in a parallel way, right? So that's what you're saying. Okay. So example, in every computer in the network device, it is connected to a single cable. So that is an example we can say for this bus topology. So and then bus topologies, we can also the protocols are followed by LAN. So LAN, we are using a LAN because LAN will be a good example for this bus topology. Okay. And then when we talk about the ring topology, so ring means definitely it will be in a ring architecture, right? So ring will connecting a device with exactly two neighboring devices. Okay, I have one node and it will be connected with the another two nodes, that is neighboring nodes. So like this we can form a ring topology. So example, let's take the real time of the operation of ring topology. So for example, I have one station is known as a monitor station, so okay, which takes all the responsibility for performing the operation, and it is going to transmit the data. So this transmitting data will only happen using a tokens, using a token release technique. We'll be performing this ring topology. And what is called tree topology. So tree means obviously it will be in a tree structure, right? So I think you'll be learning in a JavaScript. So that is document object model, right? So the same like you'll be having it like a tree structure based. So you'll be having an ancestor and the child and the parent nodes. It goes on like that. So that is the architecture for the star topology, that is tree topology. And when we talk about the hybrid topology, so it is from the hybrid means what? So it is a combination of some two topologies. Let's take it means we can combine a ring or star topology, or we can combine the various types of topologies together. And mesh topology is a little bit different because we'll be calculating it. Okay, how we can get the things. And I think I didn't complete the star topology. So star will be, so centrally I will be having one node. Okay, so that is called as a hub. So in a real-time basis, I can tell you as in the company side, we can say I have a hub. So in that hub, I'm just distributing. So it is a data center. Right? Let's take it is a data center, a data warehousing. So it is they are sharing the products. Let's take it is going to be an automobile data warehousing. So that is a real hub. Okay, from that place only a different system will be connected. So it will be distributed to the other that is a company which is depending upon that hub. Okay, let's take like a head office. Okay, so the star topologies, you will be having a hub, so that will be connected with the other nodes. So that is an example of this star topology. And we go to a mesh topology. So mesh topology will be, calculated like the total number of ports which is required. This is somewhat, mesh. We can say like you'll be having a lot of connections in between. So that will be calculated using a calculation. So calculation is nothing but if you want to find a number of ports which is connected between the node, the formula is n into n minus 1. So what is this n? N is a number of devices. Let's say for an example, if I have, I have a 5 nodes. Okay. If I have a 5 nodes, so what will be the total number of ports? So let me. So the formula will be a total number of ports is equals to, so n into n minus 1. Okay. So number of devices is going to be 5. So 5 into 5 minus 1. And what is the value? So 5 into 4 is, we are having a 20 ports. Okay, clear? So like this, we will be calculating the mesh topology. I hope everyone is clear till this. Yes or no? So am I repeating the things which you already know? Or can we directly get into the Azure? So it's up to you. So let's jump into the Azure, or we can continue with topics.
I think we can
Theory.
jump into the Azure part because
Okay, fine. And what about Chandika Mogan sir and Payush, Pankaj?
Yeah, we can go for it.
Azure itself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Chandika Mogan sir is not online. Okay, fine.
Swati, just give me 2 minutes. I'm in meeting. Okay.
Okay, okay, fine.
Just yeah. Huh.
Okay, let's skip this. Okay, I'll just run through the PPT, what will be there. So networking protocols, and we have like what is internet protocol, subnet. So I hope the students will be having this particular topic in their subject also for that. I think the subject name is computing network, I think. So there itself they'll be having. So while after completing all the PPTs, you can go through this quizzes with the students. Okay, clear? Okay, and then here, this is about cloud computing. So now we'll get into the demo of implementation of virtual network. So how we can create a virtual network. Before that, just to confirm, do you guys have this access of Microsoft Azure? No one, right?
No, no, we don't have.
Okay, then I need to give a access. Give me a minute. Let me give you access. But from the student side, you should not give any access for the students. And once you complete all the topics related to resource, you have to remove the resource which is created by you. Okay. So let me add a user. Okay. Before that, please share your mail ID. That is Outlook mail ID. I need your Outlook mail ID. Put it in the chat box so that I can send you the invitation. Vignesh, Vignesh, I think Muttusel, when I have send you that invitation, please accept it.
Just a minute. Okay, accept invitation.
Umameshwari, I do have that Azure portal invitation. I do have already.
You have already the invitation, but what about the access permission?
Permission is there. I'm also the
Okay, okay,
owner of it.
great, great. Ayush, Pankaj, I have shared the invitation. Please check once.
Yeah, I'm checking. Yeah, I got the mail. Accept invitation.
Okay. And Vignesh Madhyalagan for you also.
Okay.
Jay Rath. Jay, are you there?
Yes, hi, Uma.
Yes, hi. Do you have the access for this Azure portal already?
Yes, I do have.
Okay, fine. So wait a minute, guys. I'll give you the access for your mail ID. Okay, for access, I think on a different mail ID. Just 1 minute. Swati.
Yes, Uma.
Swati, one help. Like,
Sure.
I have logged into my personal mail ID for this internet world. So, can you give access for this one? That is, who are given the mail ID, just give access to them. Is it possible from your end?
From where you're talking, are you talking about Azure?
Yes, yes.
For Azure, I don't think I can give the access.
Okay, okay, no
Uh,
worries.
I think for that, we have Rashmi only, who takes care of it.
Yes, I have that access, but I'm facing an issue with that Microsoft Azure from the morning. I was using my personal mail ID. Okay, let me check once. Okay, I got it. Add.
Do we have to install Microsoft Authenticator?
For this one, yes, you have to download that app and you have to
Okay.
scan it up. But give me a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I need to get a permission, so please give me some 2 minutes. Please be on the line. Okay. Yes, Vidhi. Actually,
Yes,
for three traders, we need to give access for Vignesh, two Vignesh and Pankaj.
okay. So for that, do I need to join through your
Yes,
account or through my account?
I don't have an, yeah, I'm facing a little bit a problem in my account. So what I do is just create an invitation. Can you share your screen for the Azure portal?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, go and search for home. So that is for user. On the first one. And click on new user. Invite external users. And copy a mail ID which is in the chat. and give invite, review and invite. That's it. Invite. For others also, two more persons there. So you can also do for them as well. Okay. So next is go to the subscription in the search box, subscription. This EF subscription and I'm not getting it. Okay. So now
So
the next
do we need to give EF subscription or pay as you go?
EF subscription only. So that is very
Because
less. Can you see 1261?
yes,
So
I
pay
think
as you
that
go.
is why in TSP we are utilizing pay as you go. Pay as you go for TSP program.
Okay. But previously we were using this EF subscription, right?
Yes,
So it
at
has
that
been
time this
changed.
pay, yes, now it is changed. At that time we were not having this pay as you go. That is why we were utilizing EF subscription. But for TSP, the new subscription they have generated, that is pay as you go.
Okay, then you can give. So I have that option, but it is in disable mode. Okay, let's try. Just click on it. Access control. And then add. See here, it is
Role.
in disabled.
Mm,
Click on it whether it is working. No. So we need to
No.
go for that EF subscription only, Vidhi.
Uma, just
I
I want to
think
give one information. If you are working for the EF, it will be enabled. If you're working for pay as you go, it will be disabled because of training programs. And Vidhi, are you owner or what?
no, I'm not the owner, I guess. Mayank is the owner.
So he can do that. He can do that.
Yes, as per my knowledge, I think Mayank has the rights to do these things.
So I can do an EF subscription, but pay as you, I cannot also have that subscription. Maybe Vidhi
Mm,
pointed correctly that maybe for TSP they have allocated new one.
yes, yes.
Okay, with this, okay, as of now, just we'll understand how we can work on it. Later, we can do this, right, Vidhi?
Yes, yes, we can do it later because the
Okay.
training session which we are having that is also of 1 week only. So within 1 week, I think you guys can be able to complete up to Java only. Right. So you can more focus on Linux part than database part, than HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Java programming. Majorly, I think these are the modules which you can be able to complete within 1 week. After that, I guess we need to ask for some online session or something because within 1 week, I don't think so we can be able to deliver the 60 hours of content.
Correct. Pointed out. But still we'll try from our side. Anyhow,
Yeah.
as Uma is helping us in educating the cloud, as some of the new trainers are there, so they can have a training session on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Uma, go ahead with that training part.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Vidhi. Thank you,
Yeah.
Shanika. Yeah.
Thank you, Vidhi, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Uma, are you able to get an EF subscription at least?
What is the problem is I'm using the personal account as of now because I'm getting some error for my official account. So in the morning
Okay.
only I got a access for the personal account.
Okay.
So
You'll be
moreover, I'll be doing it. I don't know whether I get a EF subscription. I want to check.
check once.
Okay, fine.
Can you stay for a couple of 20 minutes? Is that okay for you? So that she can demonstrate the thing.
Yeah. I can stay till 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah.
Uma, is it sufficient for to complete the two topics in the demo, live demo?
Yes, I can complete it. 1 minute. Let me try whether.
Otherwise, you can tell me, I can do it from my end. I don't have
Yes,
that.
it will be a better option. Yes, you can share your screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall I?
Yes, please.
Okay. Just check from your side whether it is there or not in your EF subscription for you.
I'm getting only a pay as you go option.
Okay. If it is coming, okay, it is visible for you, right? I guess. Okay. Okay. Tell me now.
Okay. So now we are going to create a virtual machine. Okay, so virtual machine in the sense, two types we are going to explain to the students. One is we are going to install Windows. The another one is a Linux. Okay, clear? So first we will go with the virtual machine. How we can create a virtual machine using this Windows product. So now go to the search and click on create resource, or you can directly go with the virtual machine.
Okay. Uma, you just tell me the instructions. I'll follow because I know all these things. So you just tell according to the trainers will understand. So I'm going home again. Trainers, please listen. I'm going on home, right? So this is the home button. Okay. Now tell me now.
Yes. Now you select on that. Let me
Virtual
tell you
machine?
the steps. Yes, virtual machine. Just click on virtual machine.
Okay.
Here itself you can see below this Azure services. Yeah, just click on create.
Create. Tell me.
Okay, now Azure virtual machine. Okay, so here you can see the subscription, and next is a resource group. So we need to create a resource group, or if you have already, you can select it. So do you already using any resource group? You can select that, or else you can click on the new option and you can create a new resource. Okay, it's just a name. We are just giving a name for the resource group. It is done. Okay, fine. Just click on create new. Yes. Or you have chosen resource group.
Yeah, I have not chosen any group. So they are
Okay.
different are
Then we
there.
can create. Then we can
Yeah.
create a new resource.
So already KT session sum is there, something one is using. So we'll create it. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Uma Azure Cloud. Okay.
Okay.
And then
Next we need to give a virtual machine name. So whatever the machine which we are going to create, so just we need to provide a name for it. You can give any general name. So KT, okay. And then scroll down. So here the region, so which is the nearest region, so that we will be choosing. So here we can go with the same thing, US, East, US. And what is the availability options? Availability option in the sense in a region we'll be having a different availability zones. Okay, so we can choose that. Choose availability zone. And zone will be, if you click on zone, you can see 3 zones. Okay, so I'm going to choose a zone 1. And security type is a trusted launch virtual machine. And images, first we will go with the Windows 10. Okay.
so standard or what trusted?
You can choose trusted also, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay,
Then
and
image.
then and the image you can type Windows 10.
Pro.
Yeah, Pro version. And this is going to be a 64-bit, and that is architecture. And then a little bit come down. And the size of, if you want, you can choose the sizes, but as of now, we can go with a default one. The standard B1S and CPU and one GIB memory. And the cost you can see here. It is a free service eligible. And come down. So the next thing is administrator account.
Size is okay.
Yes, you can check whether we have the cost. If it is anything less than that, you can choose that. You can go with okay. An administrative account here, we need to give a username and password. So whatever the virtual machine which we are creating, for that we need a username and password, right? So that we need to mention here. So username, you can give a username. Okay, it is in green only. And then password.
I'm putting same as
Same thing. Okay. Please remember it. Let me also note down.
Uma KT 17th. Okay. Then password
Okay,
is
fine.
@ KT sessions. Again, I'm putting
Okay.
@ KT.
The
Okay.
red
I'm
kit.
again adding password Uma KT 17th @KT.
Okay.
You type that. So I will
Okay.
take.
And then the inbound port rules. So here we are selecting allow the selected ports. Okay. And then or we can choose with a none. But here we can go with allow the selected ports. So selected ports is inbound port. We are going to choose the inbound port. So what is RDP? So what is RDP? Anyone knows? RDP is a remote desktop control. Okay, so the port number, the general port number is 3389. So this is a Microsoft proprietary protocol. So this enables a remote connection. That's why we are choosing it. And just click on this arrow mark that is drop down here in the inbound ports. Yeah, click on this inbound. So here you can see multiple ports. That is HTTP. It is the port protocol is the port number is 80. This protocol is for default network port. It is used to send and receive the unencrypted web pages. This is for HTTPS is for encrypted data. This the port number is 443, and SSH is nothing but a secure shell. So this is is to listen on the standard transmission control protocol. It is for TCP. The port number is 22. So as of now, we are going to use this RDP. Yes, you can choose on this RDP, and next is licensing.
Okay.
Licensing.
What is RDP?
Yes, RDP is a remote desktop control,
Okay.
which is going to enable the remote connection. And licensing, just check this box. It is just confirming I have a eligible Windows 10 and 11. But if you are using some other Linux or something, you don't want to check this. Okay. And as of now, we have given a name and we have given the port number. So we'll go next. So next tab is going to be a disk. Just
Sorry to
click on.
interrupt. Uma, can you please just scroll up a little bit? Yeah, just a minute. I just verify. Just a minute. Okay,
Okay.
so subscription we need to put as a pay. So I am getting pay as you go with the subscription.
Okay, as of now, you already have a permission, right? So I think just try with the pay as you go. Vidhi, can
Okay.
we go with that, right? So, Jay, so what you do is just try that. I-
Hmm.
I
Who
think we
gave the
can go
access
with
to
pay as you go.
is Jay? The access is given by Rashmi, right?
I think, yes, on that day she gave.
Then
Yeah.
you can use it. Yeah, it will be working.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay, fine. Okay, and just scroll up, Chandika sir. Could you please scroll up?
Yeah. So resource group is UMA Azure Cloud. Virtual machine is KT UMA. Zone region 1. Windows 10 Pro version image. Virtual machine x64. Then standard bytes, which is least cost. In your case, what is coming as you pay? What option you're getting there?
I'm getting option called standard D2S P3. It's around 5,000 per month.
Oh, is there nothing is there less than amount?
Less
Just a
than that,
minute.
we don't have here. I think only 596 is the least
No, for
price.
us it's okay for him as you pay. There's another option. No?
Yeah, for
Um,
me it's been 5,500.
you
Okay.
have 500 options, then you can go with that.
No, 5,500. Not less than that.
Can
Okay,
I
okay.
advise
Then,
something? Don't do it then. Then don't do it.
yes, we
Okay.
wait for some time. Yeah.
In case if it is required, because we may have another session, similar session on the last day before that, half an hour. Okay. Uma is there already in the same training phase, so she can get the clarity on which one we have to use. Okay. Uma, just
Yes, yes.
make a note of it. If any at the last day before, we can train again on this particular topic. Okay.
Okay, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
So
won't do anything. Okay. Yeah.
please don't do it. Please
Yes.
don't.
As of now,
Yes,
we can stop. Yeah.
right now you guys can just see the steps of these things, that how we can create these things and how it works basically. And for the practice purpose, again, we can have the training session before your sessions, right? Because
Correct.
right now you have the training of 1 week only. So later on also we can cover it.
Yeah. Yes. So any clarity missing? So EF subscription or what are the subscription is there at that moment? Then create the resource group, then virtual machine name, then followed by region, right? Then availability zone 1, then trusted launch virtual machine, then Windows 10 Pro, x64 standard, which is having minimum cost. Then you have to create your username and password. Password is having some limitations. It should have some characters, capital letters, small letters, and symbols. It should be length of 13 to 14 size. Then we are importing the inbound ports. Okay, then we have to import ports as RDP 3389. All good till now? Understood everyone? Shall I move next step?
Yes,
Yes.
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 Next disk. Yeah,
So
Uma, tell
here
me
in
please.
the top, you can see basics, disk, networking, management, monitoring. So we need to fill all these details. Then we can create the final part. Yes, somewhere someone is asking something. So any questions? No, right? Okay. So then we have VM disk encryption. So encryption at a host. We don't want to check this as of now. Uh, let's go to the OS disk. So OS disk here, just scroll a little bit up. Yeah. So OS disk size, here we are giving 127 gigabytes, and then sorry, GIB, and then OS disk type. So disk type, we have, just go to the next option. Here we have like SSD and HDD. SSD means it is a solid state drive. It's a type of a storage device used in a computer, and it's like a non-volatile storage media. Stores persistent data on the solid state flash memory. So that's why we are choosing this SSD. HDD means it is a hard disk drive. and it's a non-volatile storage, data storage. So as of now, we are just choosing a premium SSD. Okay, and then here, if you want to, we don't want to delete with the VM, so we are just be on the same thing. So next is a key management. So delete with VM.
Shall I
Okay.
uncheck this one? Delete with VM?
Yes, I think just delete, undelete. That is uncheck it.
Then we have three options: platform managed key, customer managed key, and platform managed key, customer managed key.
Okay, let it be the same thing, a platform managed key.
Okay, next.
Scroll down. So these are the default thing. So data disk for this one, what is the size and everything. And next, click on networking. As of now, we are ready with the disk. The next is networking part. So the networking part, it is automatically, just taking the virtual network name. So if you want to create one, you can also create it on your own. Subnet is nothing but this is to identify what is the host and what is the who's that is a network and host. So host, the network will be the 24 bits, that is bytes, which we have. So for each and every bytes will be having a 4 bits, right? So 444. So this entirely it is considered as a network, and the last one will be the host. Okay, we are dividing the networks so by 24, and the public IPI name, and this is basic and allow selected ports. Just come down, and whatever we have given there, it has been chosen automatically. And we don't want to do anything here for load balancing and all. We don't want to choose anything. Just scroll down. Yes, click on next management. Here also everything is a default one. So it is a micro defender for cloud. So your subscription is protected and the information is showing like just a management thing. And just scroll down. So we don't want to do anything here. Go next monitoring. For next monitoring. And boot diagnostic is nothing but enable with the management storage account. So this is recommended. So it is automatically taking it. So next is advanced. Next, we can go with the tags, VM application and custom data and user data. So here and all, we don't want to change because it is asking whether you want to check or uncheck. That's it. We are just unchecking all the details. You're not providing anything here. Just move on to the next tags. Here also same thing. So resource is selected, 13 is selected. So next, review plus create. So you can see it is showing like running a final validation. So validation is passed. Scroll down. It is showing the price and the subscription value. Go down. Whatever the information we have given, so that is we can review it here. The disk and networking and the management, monitoring, and click on create. So once the validation is passed, you can click on create. Okay, it will be working good. So now the deployment is started. So again, the information we are getting is submitting the deployment and the deployment is in progress. So we need to wait for a minute. Then our deployment will be ready. You can also check the steps in the drives if you want. The easy steps.
Uma, can I drop this call because I have the another meeting
Yes,
lined up?
Vidhi. Sorry, Vidhi. I was
Okay.
forgot to remind. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
So after completing this, we will be, showing the Linux, sorry, Ubuntu. So we'll be installing Ubuntu on a virtual machine. So that is the second task. So these are the two tasks we'll be explaining to the students for, especially for cloud computing. Only that is for foundation. We are just, we will explain these two things. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uma, generally, how much time it will take for deployment for this particular
Uh,
activity?
It will take a very less time, but I don't know why. So it will take just 1 to 2 minutes. That's it.
Generally, it should be happen within 30 seconds or 40 seconds.
But sometime it takes time for, for the trainers. So actually, just checking the speed.
So it's good enough.
Hmm.
Yes, it's completed.
Okay, great. Then now, can you go down? Go to
How to
the resource. Go to the resources.
see, after creating, you can check the bell button also, right?
Yeah,
Here also
notification. And the
notification,
notification. Yeah.
or it can be done here.
Now we can click on connect. First one. Scroll down. Yes, now click on native RDP. So this is the one you don't have an option to select.
No, it is taking loading. It says
Still loading. Okay.
that's okay now.
Select. Yeah. Click on
Select.
select. Yeah. So other notification box will be open. So here you can see the all the port numbers and the public IP address of the configuration which we have done for Windows. Okay. And scroll down, sir, a little bit. You will be having a download RDP file. Just click on it. So that is the file. So it has a Windows virtual machine. So just double click on it and click on connect. So it is connecting to the desktop. So whatever the credential which we have given for the virtual machine, the username and the password, the same thing we have to provide here. 17, 17th, yeah. And the password, the same username, but at last at KT. Click on yes. So now our virtual machine is ready. So we need to give some steps for the configurations or whatever we will be giving it while we are getting into the new OS, right? The same thing here also. It is showing the welcome page.
Uma, is it possible that whatever the RDP file which we have generated now, can we share to students or the other trainers? They can also open in their laptop.
I think we can also do that, but I have never tried it. But that's a good idea. So we can also try that. Because that's a username and password, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Because everything is configured, right? So only the
Hmm.
username and password is required.
Yeah.
So already all trainers know this password and username. So they can also
If
run that.
possible, can you share that to me? I will check from my system.
Yeah, let
Share
me
me the
check.
download.
Let,
Yeah.
let me do this first thing, then we'll do that.
Okay.
If all good went, then we can share it. It's taking too time.
I think more tabs are open. That may be a reason. Like, so after logging into this, we can do all the things, whatever we are doing it in the same Windows OS. Yeah. So now just we can see these are the privacy setting for our devices. If you want to, we can go with this toggle buttons, yes or no option. So just go the same thing. So click on accept. Yeah. So this is our virtual machine, so which we have created. So now, so it will be asking for internet connection. So I think yes, go to the Microsoft Edge. So at the bottom, you can see the network connection is applicable now. So this one, after that is that square box here. Is it working or not?
No, it's taking time.
Okay, fine. It's
We need to
opened, I think, Microsoft Edge. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's not
open.
responding.
Actually, time zone, no? That is the issue. Based on time. Yeah, it's open now.
Okay, you can type something, Google or Microsoft, whatever. Just search for some terms. Can know, so the network will also be available in the system, that is in the virtual machine.
It's taking time.
I think if we try to use that Linux, it again lags, I think. Then
Yes,
we
yes.
are, yeah. Yeah. So now start with your data. Next option, and you can browse whatever you want. The same thing how we do it in the Windows OS, the same thing we can also do it here in the virtual machine as well. Okay, that is a concept. Continue and start browsing.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it. So we are able to do all the activities which we are doing in the Windows OS. The same thing we can also do it in the virtual machine also. So that is a simple concept. So next we need to learn about the Linux OS which we can install in the cloud computing, using a cloud computing. I think we can go with the Ubuntu then. So can we do it now, or we can do it now, right?
Yes,
System
yes.
working. Yeah.
Can I close now?
Yeah, you can close it. I hope everyone has understood with how we can do the steps. Yes or
Is the
no? So
same
any clarification or questions?
is the
Okay,
same
Clear.
thing
fine.
steps are available in the Word file?
Yes, everything is available in the Word file.
Okay,
We
fine.
have shared it in the drive. Yeah, in the repo we have everything.
Can I close now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll share
Yeah.
that thing to all of you. It would be great, I guess. I don't think we can. Okay. Received?
Yes.
Okay, next.
Yeah, 1 minute. Let me check whether it is working.
You can share your screen now.
Yeah, sure. So what is the username? This is a username, right?
Yes.
Yes. I think it is working. Let's see. Yes, it is working.
Good, great.
Great idea. Great. Yes, thank you so much. So we can also ask the students to do this, right?
Yes. Because when students start putting those configuration, they do mistakes.
Mm.
So if you share this thing, it will be good. They will really feel the environment.
Yes. Okay. For me, it is working. For what about others? Is it working from your end? Let me close this.
Can multiple person use at the same time single system?
Yes, try once. Okay, can we go to that Ubuntu now? Can we try that?
Yes.
Or else, if it is
Vignesh,
not working for all the that is student, then we can ask 1 or 2 students to just work on it. Okay. Yes, Chandika sir, can you please share your screen so that we can go over the next one?
okay. Yeah, please.
Just go to that Azure portal. So now we are trying to use a Ubuntu virtual machine using this Azure portal. Okay, now let's go to the search box and type virtual machine. So the bottom you can see, yeah, just click on it and click on create virtual machine. Same steps. Only the ISO image we are going to change. Scroll down and here you can choose a new that is resource group which we have created already. I think Uma something you have created, right? Or KT, Azure Cloud. And the machine name. So you can type the new machine name, virtual machine name. And the region is same, availability zone, everything will be the similar thing.
I'm
Click
putting
down.
virtual machine VM.
Okay, fine.
Here image we have to change, right?
Yes, image here go to that 20.04 Ubuntu.
Two are there, Gen 2, Gen 1. Recommended, okay.
Same thing. Okay, and after this, the same steps.
It
And
shows like
here,
Ubuntu server, like, is it the correct one or?
just choose it. Just select this option, that is image, drop down. Scroll down a little bit. Yes, it's correct only. Ubuntu server. Is correct. Okay. So next here, we are not going to set any password for this Unix. Sorry, for the Ubuntu. So instead of that, we are going with this SSH. SSH means that we already discussed, right? Secure shell public key. Okay. So next little bit scroll down and you can so after this, you can give a username and generate the new key pair. So we'll be doing it later. Can change the username if you want. Otherwise, you can keep it as it is, assure user. And here we need a key pair name. Just give a key pair name. In the key
So
pair name option, yeah.
same password, okay. Why it's saying?
Same. Okay. But it is not accepting, I think.
Yeah.
Issue resource name cannot contain special characters. You can remove that at symbol.
No, it's okay now.
Ah. Next to that SSH portal. So we're using 22 port and next disk. Okay. So in the disk part, everything in the OS disk type, disk size and type. So type is standard SSD. That is fine. So this one standard SSD. Or we can go with the premium. Okay. So let it be a standard SSD. Check this. Yeah. Scroll down. So we don't want to do anything here. Next, we can go with the networking. Click on networking. So automatically it is loading a virtual network and subnet. And just scroll down. This is a NIC network security group. So basics and allow the selected ports. And we can go with next option. Mostly for Windows and for the Ubuntu, it will be similar, but for Ubuntu, we'll be using, this putty. So we'll see that. So it is done. Thank you. Scroll down. And you can go with next option. The same thing. So here also we don't want to do anything. Just click on review and create. it done or was given below is an estimated, not the final price. So the meanwhile, you can others can download Putty on your system. So let me also share you the link. So you already installed. Okay. For others, I'm just sharing the link. So in the link, you can download either 32 or 64-bit according to your based upon your system. Okay. So let me share the link. So you can click on 64-bit. The first one, 64-bit MSI Windows installer. So I hope Chandika sir, you have already installed. So we can check the steps. Everyone is understanding. So what we are doing? We're so silent. Yes, understood yes or
Yes,
no?
yes, we are.
Yeah,
Okay,
clear.
fine. Okay then. Okay, great. So using this link, you can download the Putty software on your system. So once it is done, just go to that Azure portal, sir. So let's check whether we are done with the deployment. That is creating the things. Scroll down. So these are the things, the information which we have provided already. So we can review it. Click on create.
So other trainers, please check now. We are going for the next step now. Create. Can I?
Yeah.
Vignesh, Vijay, shall I go for next step? Create.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And download this private key. Download private key and create a resource. So it is downloaded. Okay. We'll just wait for the deployment to be completed. So deployment should complete. So we'll wait for a while. Okay. Now it is done. Go to the resource. So resource is ready. Okay, fine. So the next step will be the putty. So you can go to the putty. So putty is actually why we are using is we are going to convert our private key which we have downloaded now so into the proper extension. So that is the reason we are going for this putty. So what this will do is it will convert the a private key into the that is a .pm format to the .ppk format. Okay. So just go click on this putty. So first we need to go for the putty generator, putty key generator, not this one, sir. Just close this and go with putty key generator. So putty gen. So the bottom I think you have. So while you are downloading itself, it will be so here, not that one, sir. Just go to that Windows. Putty key gen. Below this apps, you have it, right? Apps. This one. So we need to download it. Awareness. Yeah, this one. So here, just click on load an existing private key. Click on load and select the downloaded file. The file name is, I think, go with the type and you can check dot, yeah, files, yes, .pm. So it is done, right? Yes, we are done with this. So now, next you can save the private key. Just click on save private key. And next is getting the SSS connection information. What happened?
Now, when we are saying the private key, it is asking for the path.
Or sure you want to save this without a password?
So already saved. Then should I
Mhm.
close?
You can just, it's a private key. It is not saving the file.
It is saved. It has saved.
Okay, then close it off. So now go to the Azure portal. So the next is we are going to get the a key that is a public IP address. So we need it. We have at the IP address. Just copy it, copy and paste somewhere else. So the next step is now we need to go to the putty configuration. Putty configuration. Yeah, that app only. Just click on that app. Putty app. Yeah, here in the host name, before the host name, you have copy that user, right? Username. So I also have it, I think. So key pair name. So I'm just copying and put it in the chat box. Just copy that. I think that is the one you have given as a username, host name. Paste it and at. So this is the host name and at what is the IP address? I use at here
At
after the
AP,
host name. Yeah. After the T, you can just put at. Not that at. We'll be using it for mail ID, right? That at.
at the rate. Okay.
Yeah, at the rate. At the
Then
rate and then IP address. So host name at IP address. Okay, that's all. Then yes, we can load it. Just click on load. Or you can just click on save option. And now you can go with the option called SSH. In the left hand side, you can see SSH, right? Not that one. In the left hand side category, go with the authentication. So just select authentication. No, just select that authentication. So I think here you don't have an option to browse. Okay, let's click on open. At the bottom, you have open, right? Yeah. So click on accept. No supported authentication method available. I think that username we have given wrong. Okay. So username is wrong. So just go to the Azure portal and check what username we have given. Just scroll down a little bit.
This one.
No, just no, that not that one. Just scroll down a little bit. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Copy this computer name. This is not a username, I think. Okay. Can you go to the resource? I will check. Can you go to the resource? KT session only. KT session. Scroll down. This is not the one. So what is the resource name we have given? Uma Azure Cloud, right?
Yes.
You can type over there in the top. Filter. Yeah, this is the one. Just click on that Azure, Uma Azure Cloud. You can scroll a little bit. Manage. This one, what is the KT Uma? Just scroll up. Go to the manage overview. Edit the columns. It's not showing. Okay. So we forgot that username. That is a fault.
Okay. VM we have given username.
Username we have given something before that SSH public IP address. Forgot it what it is.
It was not accepting at the rate symbol, right? So it was VM. KTH 17 at KTH VM. This one.
This one. Oh, okay.
So we'll give the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, try. We can try that. Yeah. A very simple thing. Just like you have to give the username and the host, that is IP address. If you give that, it will automatically open.
So shall I
Using
go
user.
again? Put it.
Just close
Everything?
it up and you have to do it again. Just go to the putty configuration. host name, that is the username, VM, at the IP address at the rate.
SSH.
SSH, everything is correct.
Open.
I have done right. So go. No, just we can. Have you saved it?
Yes.
Okay. So then we can do one thing. I think some username issue is coming up. If possible, we can do it one more time, or else we need to create a virtual machine again, because without knowing the host name, we cannot open this putty. So what I can do is I can create one Ubuntu. That is how the practical thing is going to be, and I will share it with you. Okay, is it okay
Okay.
for everyone? Because as of now, I don't. I'm facing an issue with the taxes, so better I can share you the link.
Yeah, please
Okay,
make the
because
screenshot one by
Swati
one.
ma'am is waiting. Yes.
You can create one by one screenshot and you can save the document.
Sure. That also I can do. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think Swati, you can take over the session.
Sure, everyone. I'll just be starting. Let's all of us take 5 minutes and then we can start. Right?
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, hi everyone. I hope yesterday, we talked about DBMS and it and HTML as well. So I hope it was a bit insightful for you guys. You learned something from it if it was not already on your tech stack. Anywhere, if you faced any problem, whether it was in DBMS or HTML content, even the exercises, any topic, please feel free to reach out to me at any point of time whenever you'll be delivering.
Sure, we will do that.
Just a moment, I'm just. This is for the final year, right? That we're doing foundation course. Okay. Presentations. 3. Also, I asked you guys to perform CRUD operations in DBMS. I hope you were able to reach to that point. Did you perform CRUD operation, the lab exercise?
Yes, Swati, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any difficulty that you faced during it, performing those queries?
Yeah, actually, I was facing same issue regarding the delete query, but
So
you asked
I,
that we need to change that
ha.
configuration.
Did you change the configuration and then did it happen?
Yeah, it worked after that.
Okay. All right. So today we'll have to start from CSS, right? Components. Okay, so in this, when you'll come to this part after HTML, you'll introduce your web development, CSS now. Introducing CSS means you're telling them that, where does CSS stands in the web dev. I hope each one of us are already aware of that CSS is used for, styling purpose. And by styling, what do you understand by styling? By styling, what do we understand by styling?
Like color, font,
The look
position,
and feel,
look and
right?
feel. Yes.
Yeah.
Better
Okay.
feeling, better
Also
visibility.
CS. Yeah. Are you saying something?
I was answering. It's better preview feeling.
Sure, yes. Now the full form, what is the full form of CSS that we know? Cascading style sheets, right? So we actually create a style sheets in which we put all of our stylings that we are applying for a web application, for a web page, for a website into it, right? Now people might ask you, sir, what do we understand by cascading? Style sheet, though I understand that it is a document that is containing styles, right? But what do we understand by cascading in this? Anyone?
Additional.
Additional? All right, then
Adding top of it.
adding on top of it, I mean, like, how? Can you just explain it a little bit more?
Suppose some text is there which is not in correct way, so we can make into appropriate styles, italic, more kind of generic things.
Acha. Okay. Okay, now when we talk about cascading, one thing that you can explain it is through the concept of inheritance. We all are aware of inheritance. We have done, any programming language that we are aware of, and we know how inheritance works. There is a parent class, there is a child class, and then you can inherit the properties of a parent into a child. Similarly, in your web development, we have these elements, right? The HTML elements that we work with. So suppose there is a div container, right? Inside a div container, you have a paragraph, you have a heading, some other elements are also being put inside the container itself. Now, whatever styling you are going to apply to that block, that will automatically be applied to all the child elements belonging to that parent element, which is the div. Okay, so that is where your cascading comes in. One concept of explaining cascading is this also. Okay, cascading means in CSS, it's the styling rules, and part of styling rules, that those stylings that you're applying to any parent component that falls through all the child components as well. Child elements exactly as well. So any, for example, in any div, you've applied any background color, right? So you will see that the entire container is of yellow, right? Suppose you've given a background color as yellow. So the entire container becomes yellow, even for the headings, paragraphs that are within that container. Okay, that means you're following that through. So that is, one meaning of cascade. All right. I hope this is clear. These are some, questions. Even for HTML, people, you should be able to explain what hypertext means. Hypertext means, links. What do we understand by markup? Markups are the tags, and so that distinction you should be able to give to the students. And even for CSS, then there is nothing. It's only about what are the characteristics of CSS, how it helps in web development, what is its role in web development, exactly where does it come in. Though CSS looks very easy to start with and work with, but when you start applying it to bigger projects, you'll actually understand CSS is really mind-boggling. All right. So, to to think about each and every positions, and to see how the elements are being laid out on the screen, in a bigger perspective, I'm talking about, there your CSS actually kind of becomes a little complicated. But to learn CSS, to start with CSS, it is easy. Okay, it is time saving, you know and how come we can say that it is time saving? That you can write CSS for one kind of element. Suppose you are you work in an organization, right? So there we develop softwares and everything. From my own experience, I'll talk about that. I've been developing banking software, suppose. Now the banking software is any other company or bank which approaches us to develop a banking product. Okay, there are a few things which are common that we provide as a common interface to all. Now for that CSS, for that handling, I'm not going to write that code again and again. I have those stylings already being there, and I just copy and paste. So in that way, it becomes time saving for us, right? So that is what time saving means. You can write one single piece of CSS which is relevant to your current project even, and later when you are developing something which is similar and it requires some similar styling, you can just copy and paste it over there as well. So it does not require you to write everything from scratch. Advantages and disadvantages discussed with the students. Then how many different kinds of CSS are there? There are three types of CSS: inline, internal, and external. Internal is also called as embedded CSS. When you talk about inline CSS, as you can see over here, so within the HTML element itself, suppose you have an H1 heading. So with the H1 heading only, we use a style attribute and we give the styling there itself. With the use of internal CSS means you are including the styling in the header tag. You might have seen pages of HTML where the style is being put at the top in the head, you making use of an element called style element. External CSS means that you are maintaining a separate file, a separate style sheet for CSS rules. So when you have a different style sheet, then at that point of time, what you need to do is you'll provide a link to your index.html that you are picking up or which file for CSS, and you pass the name over there. Okay. So 3 types of CSS that you need to do, and then you need to demonstrate to the students the ways. Okay, so I'll just open my VS Code. Okay, so I was working on something. Okay, all right. So I'll show you here itself, okay? Suppose, I'll show your, I have a different. All right. Suppose this is, I'm writing a normal paragraph. All right. Also, for our ease of purpose, there is one platform which I use, an AI platform in integration with VS Code. It is for code completion. Sometimes you want to show some, generative code even. So you can do that, and that is called as Codium. It's more like ChatGPT, but it works with VS Code well, and it is free of cost. As a trainer, I am just letting you know, I mean, like you can use this in your trainings as well, okay? It also gives code completion. From one trainer to another trainer. All right, so then you have this paragraph, simple paragraph aa raha hoga. All right, now here, when we talk about inline, that means you are using a style tag over here. Then color red, suppose. So you are providing the CSS property, which is color here to the paragraph, and then the output will also become red. We can check even this go live extension is a live extension is working over here. Go live from here itself. All right, let me share the entire screen. So you'll see the paragraph when I've given it a red color. The text on the screen has also come up to be red. All right. Now this is one way of applying styling. Another, the same styling, I could even come up to the head of my HTML document. I can use style over here, and then I need to put a selector. So selector means on which you want to apply this styling. That is a selector. Kis element pe, basically on which HTML element you want to apply the styling. So suppose I want to apply it on the paragraph itself. So P and curly brackets and then the styling. All right. So now I'll remove this one. Otherwise, acha, or what you can do is I'll create another paragraph. So now here I can give an ID which uniquely identifies an HTML element. No two IDs, no two elements on your HTML document can have the same ID. Okay. So here, if you have to select, if your selector is an ID, so that is you'll have to put hash and the ID name. Okay, and the color will be applied. Whatever kind of styling you want to give, you can give. So it has kind of become a little bigger in sense. So this is two types of styling that we've seen, which is one is your inline, another is internal or embedded. Another or the next one that you can check for is the external. Here also I'll provide one ID. P2. Now we'll go to a style.css and here I can select P2. It's simply, matlab you do not have to do anything in your style.css. You can straight away start using a selector, start giving the styling. No other thing is required over here. All right. Now color. Suppose, okay. Now still when I use style.css, the external CSS, I'm using the ID over here. I'm giving the color, but you will see the change is not reflecting over here. It is still black in color, right? It's not pink. It should be pink, right? Because we give the pink color. So what is missing now? So this is the matlab, this is how you can ask your students also. I mean, like, what is missing? Now they'll tell you, sir, you might have not linked it. So you'll go to your index.html and you can do the link. Okay, now here to link it. And now you will see that it has turned to pink. All right. So this is the first demonstration that you have to do to show them how to apply CSS in 3 different ways. All right. All right, so let's move on to the next, which is now there are different types of CSS selectors which are there. As I was showing you the selectors, right? The selectors means the element, how do you select an element on which you want to style, or to apply the styling. There are various types of selectors to identify the HTML element. There is an ID selector, which I showed you. Then there is a class selector. Class means there are classes also. When you put a class attribute on any element, that means you can group them together, and any styling, if you want to apply, that styling will be applied to all the classes altogether. Then there is a tag selector, just like, the tag itself. You can select the tag like P tag, H1 tag, table tag, TR, TD, whichever tag you have, you can select that. Grouping tag, a grouping selector. Grouping selector means you are grouping 2 or more elements together, right? So you put them comma separated, like table, comma, TR, comma, TD. So any kind of, styling that you need to apply to all 3 of the elements which are there. That is a grouping selector. Then there is a universal selector. Universal selector means that you are applying to the entire document itself. Okay, to all the, document, to all the different types of elements which are present. So that is going to apply to the entire document itself when you're using in this particular selector, which is the universal selector. All right, your CSS is made up of 2 parts. One is a selector part, another is a rule part. Okay, so first is a selector that on which you need to apply the CSS, then the rule, what, the styling you are applying, that is the rule part. Now type selector, see that there is a section. Okay, section means that's a tag already and you're applying that, on that section or on that particular element itself. See the element pay, you're applying the padding. Class means just in the same manner as you can see on the screen, you have a div. Okay. Okay, so you have a, any tag on which you've applied class. Okay, same class can be applied to, different elements on that particular page or in that particular document, and whatever styling you'll apply, that will be applied to all of them. Okay. Grouping selectors means that you are grouping the selectors together with comma separated. Okay, they are comma separated, you're selecting them together like strong, EM, then a class is there. So you're grouping them together using commas and the same styling you're applying to each one of them. All right, then ID selector, I've already showed you that this, shown you that there is an ID that you've provided to a tag and you are using the ID to apply styling on it. So ID means it's uniquely identify that element. There will be no other element with the same ID. Otherwise, there will be a conflict. Okay. Then universal. So these are important selectors which are there that you can use. Okay. These are important selectors. There are many other selectors. It does not end over here. There are other selectors, but these are some of the important selectors that you will be discussing in your, class with the students. Then there is an attribute selector. So any attribute, particularly, attribute means an element pay, there is some attribute which is applied, right? So that you can pick it up from there. Like here we have data type. So wherever it will find the data type, and you want to apply some styling on that kind of attribute alone, on the tags which has this attribute, you want to apply the styling to that alone, you're going to use that. And for using it, you need to use the square brackets. All right. Any confusion in the PPT?
No, all good.
So now you'll be doing lab 16. In lab 16, you will be demonstrating the simple selectors, color properties and background properties. So color property, just the simple color, the color change property which is there. Background means how you can use a different background properties which are included. So this is your lab 16. Okay, I'll show you how it looks like. So CSS style. And in color properties, it's the simple color that you've used, right? So in color, when we apply or use a color property, there are different values that it can take. It can take the keyword values for the color like blue, pink, green, red. It can take the HSL values. It can take the hexadecimal values. It can also take the RGB values. Okay. So all four kinds of color codes can be provided. When we work with the background property, then for the background also, there are different properties which are there. The one that you need to demonstrate is the background color, but you can, do the background image, you can do background cover, all different kinds of background properties can also be discussed. So just a moment. Share the screen again. Now here, as you'll see, we are doing the selectors. We have three different paragraphs. Okay. So we are doing the element selector, ID selector, class selector. Okay. Now to how to select each one of them over here is, if it is an element selector or the tag selector, then the name of the tag itself, which I've already shown you. Then if it is an ID, then ID, the selector has a hash in front of it. If it is a class, then it has a dot in front of it. And then whatever kind of, styling you want to apply, you can apply on it. The next, this is for color demonstration, this is the color property that you will be using. Now I can show you, you can either go to the, color picker, you can use the RGB values. Okay, so it takes, see the RGB values as well, save it, and you'll see the change. Otherwise, what you can do is you can go to, any color picker. I hope you have any color picker. I do had a color picker. Any color picker, you can basically put it as an extension on your Chrome as well. Okay, you can show your students that. So see, any kind of color that you need. You can make the color, mix and match. This is a hexa, this is a HSV value which will come up. Okay, hue, saturation. So you'll have HSL. HSL is not here. CMYK, RGB is here. Hexadecimal is here. HSL you can pick from any other color picker if it is there. Okay. But you can work with, this is the color mixing basically. And color mixing, you can show it to your students, for any one color picker that you can choose and you can show. This is a value that they can pick, come to their code and apply. Okay. See, it's changed. So that is how you can show them some color mixing as well for colors, for the text color, for the background color even. We can do that. Even for the hue saturation one. You can pick this again. So you just have to pick from here and you can keep on applying that. Okay. If it is an HSL value, we write HSL. If it is an RGB value you're providing, you can give an RGB as well. Because the changes are coming. So this is the color property and the background property as well as the selector, the lab 16 that you'll have to do. Alrighty, in background, you can also discuss if you have much time in your hand about the other background properties which are there. Like background image is there. Okay, simple background property is there. Background position property is there. Background size property, repeat. Then background clip is a little advanced property, but you can use that as well if you have time. So simple ones you can actually show it to them also if you have time in their hand. In the demonstration, only background color is being discussed. All right. Any confusion again? No? All right. Then comes your box model property. So what do we understand by box model, anyone?
Padding, margin, border.
Exactly. So in box model, how you can explain box model? The first thing comes in, if you will have to explain box model, how will you explain box model? See, everything in CSS has a box around it. It's kind of like, containerized. And understanding the box and the properties and different kinds of layouts with CSS, it's very important, when you're working with CSS, because then only you will be able to do that all layout things. Okay. Then there are, block and inline boxes. Do you know about the block and inline?
Yes, block level it will take the entire width and inline only the space of the content.
Okay, alrighty. So the type, it refers to how the boxes, they behave in terms of page flow, right? And also in relation to other boxes or other elements that are present on the page. So boxes have an inner display type and an outer display type. In general, whenever we set various values for the display type using the display property only. So if you'll have to set, we'll use a display property for that. You might have seen the display property set to block, inline, flex, grid, flex inline, grid inline, those kinds of property which comes. If a box has an outer display type of inline, then the box, it will not break into a new line. It is going to be in the same line, right? Any example for that? Any example for inline?
Span and most of the formatting tags would be in inline format.
Okay. So when you're discussing, these block and inline, you can take the example of div and span, and you can show examples on div and span as well. That how, you can discuss for that div and span for block and inline. Okay, and you can show the some kind of demonstration of it, which is very simple. You just take span into a paragraph, show the difference. You take a div and you show the difference in that. So whenever you are laying out a document, the browsers, the rendering engine, it represents each element as a rectangular box according to the CSS. It's a CSS basic box model itself. Okay, so CSS, it determines the size, it determines the position, properties like your color, background, border, all those things of these boxes. And every box is composed of four things. That is, respective of their edges. There is a padding, there is a border, there is a content, and there is a margin. So content, padding, border, margin. Four things are there in each box. Okay, as you can see on the screen. Now, when you talk about content area here, content is bounded by the content edge. You will see that content coming and there is an outline about it. It contains the real content, in the element, any image which is there, any text that you've put, any video player, audio player, whatever you're putting, that is the content. Okay. Dimensions are the content width and content height. Okay. If your box sizing property is set to a content box, now there is a property which is called as box sizing property. Padding property. Abhi I'll tell you about it. There is a box sizing property. Okay. Now, if your box sizing property is set to a content box, value is content box by default. It is a default thing. If the element is a block element, the content's area size can be explicitly defined with, then you can give the area size for a content like width, height, minimum height, maximum height, min width, maximum width. Okay, for a content box. Then comes your padding. Now, what is a padding? Beyond content is the padding. It extends the content area to include the elements padding. So the area around it and the, within the border. That is a padding area. Now for padding, there are four properties, which are padding top, padding left, right, bottom. And the shorthand property is a padding itself, to give some space around it. You remember I talked about cell padding yesterday for table. So there was a content and there was a cell. And this is a cell and there was the content around. So this space, that was called the cell padding. So padding is same, that means the space between the border and the content. That is your padding. Okay. Then you have border area. All right. Then there is a border property or the border area. Now border is the edge that you provide. That is simple. Now that edge that you give, it could be either solid, simple, page borders that you have. Suppose this is your this is your content box. This is your content box. And here you've written some, A, B, C, you've given padding, and this is the border. The border will be visible. Padding does not have definite, lines or something. It will be a space which will be visible to you. Okay, it is not, it does not have lines, but the border will have some lines, that you can actually see. It's tangible. उसके हाथ में दे दो मोड़ के. ठीक है. All right. So that is your border. Now border property is there. In border property, you can provide the width of the border. That means the thickness or the size of the border. You can provide the style of the border. You can give some border color. All right. So that is your border. Then comes your margin. Next is your margin. And what is a margin property? That is beyond the border and between other elements. That helps you to create space between different elements, or maybe for the entire page as well, you can set a margin. Okay, that is beyond the border. That is also not visible, but the space is visible. There is no definite boundary for that. Okay, there is a space, but no definite boundary. The only definite boundary which comes is for the border itself. All right. Understood this? Now you'll be, there is lab 17. That means you'll be using the box model on HTML element to demonstrate. And we'll be using the box sizing property. All right, so when we use a box sizing property now, I said that by default it is content type. Okay. All right, so I'll explain that as well. There is a property which is called as border box. Okay. For box sizing, there is this value called as border box value. When we use border box, now if you do not use border box and if you only have content type aligned to it, you'll see the things where are they, suppose you've given the for particular element the width and height of 200 and 200. Apart from that, you've given padding of 20 px. Apart from that, you've given margin. You've also provided border. Okay. Then whatever is the total width or the total height of that element that will come up, it will be more than what you've provided as width and height. It will exceed that. I'll show you in just a bit how this works. I hope you're able to, understand this concept of box model. Anyone who's not been able to understand this?
It's clear, sir.
All right. Okay. Now suppose I have currently two boxes on my screen. As you can see, like this is how you will demonstrate. You will take two boxes. All right. And now here you will see that for the first box, I've taken a class of box, and for the another one, I have the box. Now see, I can have multiple classes, but not multiple IDs. Okay, multiple classes works. Multiple classes means if you want to give more than one class and the styling needs to be, given later on for each one of them separately, you can. So you can provide multiple classes, no comma, nothing, just a simple space. Okay, that means the second div has two classes. One is box, one is alternate. Okay, so first class, let's focus on the first class. Suppose I have this first div with a class box. I'm just writing, I use the standard box model. Another div I've created with the same class box, and I've written this is just alternate box model. I can go ahead and provide styling for all of them. All right. I can go ahead and provide styling for all of them. Now here for the styling, if it is a class, it is dot and the class name. As a selector, you choose, you put curly brackets. Then I have given a border of 5 pixels solid and a color. All right. Provided a background color as well to show the distinction. Some padding of 40 px, margin of 40 px. So margin, that means this area it will, come up. Okay. You increase and you'll see that it is increasing. You see that it has shifted, from all corners. And here also the areas increased. Margin of 70 px. Each box has a width of 300 px and a height of 150 px. All right. So this is right now what we've applied it. It is applied on both the div blocks. But here either you can specifically write, box size. Box sizing is the property. I have content box and border box. Content box is the default. Right now that you see, that's the default styling of content box only applied. But I'm just writing it explicitly over here. No change because it's a default value. All right. Now I'll just change the bottom one with a box sizing property called border box. Okay. Everything remains the same. Only I'm giving a different box sizing property here. So the class, one more class which I've taken is alternate. And in alternate, I'll just provide box sizing as border box. Any changes that you feel? Any changes? Now the two models, now the two containers or the divs that you see, there is a change in both of them. The bottom div that we see is this bottom div that we see, it is on the property that I have given is the box sizing property, but the value is border box. Now what happens is your width, what is the width that I've taken? 300 px. Your height that I've taken is 150 px. Okay. When you use border box, in the same only the padding and the border will be applied. That means now this entire height is only 150 px. When it is a content box, okay, when it is a content box, then this height is not 150 px, but it is 150 px plus what is the padding on top? 40, padding on bottom 40 plus your this border, which is 5 plus 5. Margins are outside. Okay. So then it is this. That's why it's exceeding this entire, thing. So this is only 150 px. This is greater than 150 because it is taking padding also on top and bottom and border as well. Okay. So this you need to explain to them that this is your box sizing property and the box model, how it looks like. Two types of box sizing properties that you will discuss about: content type and border box. I'm not able to turn this off. Mhm. Can someone let stop my screen share by any means, because I'm not able to do that. It's stuck for me. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Yeah, I was not able to, my screen was stuck, right? Okay, so that is your box model. Then after that, what else we have? I hope that is clear. Any confusion in that? Then you will move to JavaScript. You will discuss about JavaScript. What is JavaScript? Ab JavaScript जो है, that is also a scripting language. You can discuss about how it is a scripting language. Why we call it a scripting language? Difference क्या है, in a scripting language and in a programming language. How it fits the object-oriented world. Also, JavaScript is object-based. Okay, it's not an object-oriented language, but an object-based language. All right. So why do we call it an object-based language and not object-oriented language? So earlier, it was an object-based and not object-oriented language. There is a difference. Explain that, read about it. When you move to OOPS concept of JS, then it is being applied. What do we understand by ECMAScript? Who is the, who's actually taking care of JS now? So that is your ECMAScript. Okay. Which JS version is currently running? So that is ES6 version, which is running. What are the advantages of using, where do we find, what are the applications of your JavaScript? That all can be discussed. Okay, mostly students would be aware about a little bit of Java as JavaScript, as students are also kind of working in that manner only. They know that web dev is the future. Now there are different ways to apply JS, which is another lab activity that you will have to show to them. Another 3 ways, as we've done CSS in 3 ways, you can do your JS also in 3 ways. Now, the first way is the inline. Sometimes whenever you'll be working with events that you'll see, then you'll see that you can apply the inline JavaScript. On buttons, we use the events. So there we can apply this inline JavaScript, which is on click, on submit, those kinds of events you can apply on. Internal JavaScript means that you are using the style tag, script tag for writing JavaScript in your HTML document itself, you know, and you can use script tag to embed your JS. So that is called embedding JS in your HTML document. Other way, and which is the preferred way mostly, is to work with an external JavaScript file. In CSS also, it is preferred that you use an external CSS file, the style sheet file. Here also it is preferred that you use an external script file. Okay, and then you need to add that here in your index.html only with a script tag and not much of an effort. All right. So that we'll have to demonstrate. And that is your lab 18.
Swati, your screen is stuck, I think. Hello?
Is it?
Yes, yes. We are still at 60th slide.
Acha, oh, all right, 1 minute. So you can basically insert a script in the, head. You can insert script in the body, and you can also have an external CSS file that you can work with. A minute, just a minute. Text.html, we've done this. And then we'll have the script. It's kind of simple only. You can insert a script. This is your external CSS, external JS. So you will have an JS file in your same folder. You can have multiple JS also, but that is a different way of including them and running them, simultaneously. So one main file is required. So suppose this is a script.js. This is all bogus, not okay. So see, I'm getting an alert message, document.write. So I'm writing something on the document. Do I have all the document.write? So document.write will come over here, but if I have console.log, so that will be on my log. the console. So hello is an alert, then document.write, and if I'll go to console, you'll see body element, which is from here. So you can insert a script into your, the embedded script into your head of your HTML, into the body of the HTML, and also you can maintain an external JS file, and then you can, just call that file. You'll have to provide the script, this particular thing. Script src equals to and the name of the file. Actually, name nahi hai, path hai. So it is in the same folder. That's why I'm just giving the name. If it is somewhere else in different folders, it's advisable that you put everything at one place only. But if it is somewhere else, then you'll give the entire path over here. Okay. So this is one activity that you'll be doing. Then after this, you'll have, I suppose, to work with events. Acha. So then you'll have to explain a lot in, thoda bahut the theory will come, then you'll be doing those theories. Like now your events will come and you'll explain about JS events and what is an event exactly. Event handling mechanism in JavaScript. So you'll discuss about event handling mechanism in JavaScript, how events, what is an event, how event are being handled, what is an event handler, what is a listener, explain about those things, read about that event handling in JavaScript. Different, events like keyboard event, mouse event, that you can discuss. Then this is your DOM, DOM handler. DOM means document object model. And why do we require DOM? What is the usage or working of a DOM? What is DOM? What is the document object model? It's actually an API basically for manipulating your HTML docs. Okay. I hope if you're not aware of, whenever your browser, server sends any, gives a response to your request that you've sent for any web page or anything. One minute. Okay, for any response, and your page is being recollected on the end. Then your browser, it builds up a tree kind of structure. Okay, that tree kind of structure is a DOM. It will have root, it will have elements onto it, it will have nodes onto it. So that is a DOM kind of representation, and tree kind of representation which comes in. Document object model, in simple terms, you can say it's an API, it's an application programming interface which helps you to manipulate your HTML docs. It represents your HTML doc as a tree, as a tree which has some nodes in it. The DOM, it gives the functions that helps us you to add, remove, modify parts of your documents effectively, and then in with JS you can utilize and use it and change, modify, do some operations on the HTML elements as well. So whatever HTML elements you have, that needs to be accessed by the JS for providing functionality. Right. So JS cannot just pick an H1 element or a paragraph element. So it needs a way for doing it. So that is a DOM handling in JavaScript, which is done. Okay, when you're working with events, at that time, it also becomes important that you know DOM handling. Okay, because you'll have to pick, some element on which you want to apply the event or any function in that case. Then you'll use some methods which are like get element by ID, get element by tag name, by class name, those kinds of things you'll be utilizing at that point of time. So then that is where your DOM comes in. Okay, so the DOM tree, the document is the root node. When you basically make up your DOM tree, there is a document, the document HTML document, that's the root node, then is your HTML, then is head, and it's a tree. So if I'll write, there is a document, okay, then is HTML, then from HTML you have head, body, then whatever is in head, suppose there is title, and then is a leaf, which is whatever is the title you are writing, and in body also any paragraph, any heading, that will be. So it's kind of like in a tree kind of structure, if you can relate it with data structures, the tree format. Okay, so it's in the same kind of format that it comes in. So each document can have only one document element, and in an HTML document, the document element is the HTML element itself. Each markup can be represented by a node in the tree. Okay, so that is your DOM. So what you will study, what you can study for explaining event handling is, first you study about event handling in JavaScript. You study also about DOM handling in JavaScript. So you'll understand different kinds of methods which are there. Okay. All right. So two things to study over here to deliver this is this. Then these are all events, mouse over, mouse event, keyboard event, change events, click events, focus event. And then there is a lab activity of how to handle events on JavaScript. Okay. So this is also simple activity itself. I hope you're able to understand this. I know as we have a little, less time on our hand, but you're still able to understand this. Anything that you're not able to get, please, let me know, speak up in the session itself.
We need to exercise it first.
Huh?
We need to exercise it. I have to do homework.
Exactly, Emily. That is so very important. And without that, so nothing is going to happen. Okay. So I'll show you the demonstration and I'll explain the code along with it to you. Okay, just give me a all right. So let me share the screen. Okay. So as this is kind of like, this is the demonstration I'm showing you exactly, and I'll walk you through the code for it. See the changes, on the hover. So if I'm hovering here on this smiley, it's changing. If I'm coming here, it's going, right? It's hidden now. So it's gone. Again, we can refresh, gone. So when I'm coming on it, it's, refreshing and it's going. Okay, as long as I'm here, as I'm coming over here, it's getting active. This is getting bigger. This is hiding. All right. So we can explain this also. Now, first thing is to make these things. And our first thing is to actually build these things up. So one karke, let's do this. To understand this better. Three things that we have. First is that rectangle block which is coming up. Okay, do not worry about the rest of the things which are there. Let's just see the first thing, which is the rectangle box. It's just a simple div container on which a style background has been applied. This is a method. Okay, we'll talk about it later. It's a mouse over method, right? Sorry, a mouse over event, which is there on which we are applying the handler. Okay, now div, first you create a div. I've given an ID over here as hover. We are styling it to create a box like this. Next, there is an input box that has been applied. Okay, then you have the type is number and some styling again has been applied. It can take numbers. And as soon as I come and click out, it gives me an alert. So that is what it needs to handle. First, understand this. Don't worry about what these, different events are. Then I have this image. This is an image which is basically just a simple kind of image, and you've just applied the image width and height you've given. The image is coming up. Okay. When we mouse over it, when we bring the mouse on it, it's getting highlighted. When we bring the mouse out of the focus from there, it's getting back to the normal size. Now you need to handle these events or these functionalities. So for that you have event handlers. All right. So you need to create this. For example, if you come on this particular image itself. So when you're bringing the mouse over it and then going out, there are two methods, events that you can apply on it. One is mouse over, one is mouse out. See, we are applying that mouse over and mouse out. Okay. Then when you come to this text box, there is again an event. So once I provide the data, I come out of that and I click somewhere. That means on change. Okay. I get an alert box. Again, one event which is on change. Then the next that I have is this div container. And that is when I come over that, I need to hide it. So again, that is mouse over event. Okay. Here, three events will be seeing mouse over, mouse out, on change. How to apply them is important. Okay. Now we know that this needs to be done. That means you'll have to create event handlers. Okay, you'll have to create event handlers. Your event handlers are basically functions that you we create. All right, in JavaScript. Event handlers are only functions that we create in JavaScript. All right, so here in script, in the head, I'm adding this. So I told you, you can add your JavaScript in the head or either body. So in head, I'm adding all of my event handlers. First is this hover one, where I'm hiding it. Okay, so here see. So to actually get to that particular div, I've given one ID over here, which is ID equals to hover. So to identify this and to apply my event handler on this particular div, I'll be using this ID hover. Okay. In DOM handling, the method to pick it up is basically get element by ID. So how to write it down is var e in any variable. E could be anything. So you're creating a variable where you'll be storing this information. Var e equals to document. Document is the document itself. So that's a document object. Okay. So document dot get element by ID and the name of the ID you pass. Now that information is stored in E. Now what you need to do is when we hover, that means you want to hide it. That means there should be no display of it. So what you will handle over here, the CSS is style.display.none. Okay, style.display equals to none. So that is what you are doing. This is is applying CSS in JavaScript. Okay, you are doing on the document on that particular element e dot style dot display equals to none. So when you will hover, it's gone because the display has become none. You can handle more of it. Okay. Then comes your next one, which is on change has been handled over here itself. Okay, this is inline CSS. Oh, sorry, inline JavaScript. This is inline JavaScript where you are applying JavaScript in the same line as the HTML element. So there only you are applying this alert. Okay. So if you'll change, come out, you will see that the alert is coming. That is inline. When we come onto this image, there are two methods. Like there are two things that I can see. When I come on the image, it's getting bigger. When I come out, it goes back to normal. That means you're changing the width and height again. So again, for this image, you can work with an ID or you can just pick up the image tag. Okay, you can apply that. Tick. So see, so here you are doing it with the help of an object kind of thing. You're using the this. That means you're referring to this particular element itself. So you are not using that get element by ID, but you can go ahead with that as well. Okay, that is also fine. So here you are using, you've created a function, and what you are doing is that for the particular element, that means the element is X that you're supposing, and when you will pass it into the methods, into that those events over there, you're going to pass this to refer to the current object, right? So X dot style dot height and width is only that you are currently working with and changing. And for big and normal again. All right. And here to refer to this particular object, you are passing this here. All right. So this is your event activity that needs to be done. Apart from this, another that you have is apply animations, and one more. I hope you're able to understand this. I've told for this concept of JS, you'll have to do event handling for your own study and DOM handling. Okay. Then is animations. Okay. JS animation is also another concept that you can use. Another use case is to add animation on your HTML elements itself. Okay. So there are different kinds of properties that you can use, like for the set interval, which is shown. Set interval is for providing uh, a little bit of time, as in a sequence of frames it provides, and it usually changes to HTML, CSS, providing some small changes to these properties, as well. So then you'll be showing, or you'll be applying their set interval to show any change or any delay in the processing. So you can use a set interval, and for that again there is lab 20 that you can show and go ahead with. So you explain how animation works in your JavaScript. So for applying animations, although most of the animations can be done through CSS, but sometimes CSS are not able to handle each and everything. So in that case, your JS comes and, it takes over. For instance, moving along a complex path, with any timing function. Suppose, let's say it's a Bezier curve or any animation on any canvas, and you want to time it. In that case, we use set interval. Okay. There are other things as well. Here you are only discussing set interval only. Otherwise, there are more methods that you can work for, like different timing functions are also there, you know, different kinds of like reversals are there, which is ease in, ease out, those kinds of applications also can be discussed about. But here the animation only that we are discussing is through set interval. Okay. And you can check for set interval, the lab 20. It's a very simple one. Not, it's very simple script also, which has been provided for this. So I'll just add an example for the same to demonstrate. A minute. And then image I'll have to see. And spring, okay. And that what JPEG. Images slash panda.jpg. This one, this example, particular one which is demonstrated. Just give me a moment. Actually, I'm just working with the example which is given so that ng dot g. Why it is not taking it? Just a moment, please. I'm just checking, where the problem is coming. Otherwise, I can demonstrate another example for it. But this is a lab exercise. All right, now working. All right, I'll switch to my screen now. Okay, so this is a lab exercise. I don't know, some of the other problem was coming on it. All right. In here, what you need to do is you can take any image, okay, and you need to apply an animation function on the image. It's not much of a task over here. We are just clicking on it and we are making it move again. So when you'll come on to come on back of it, पीछे इसको refresh करा, when we'll refresh it and if you'll click on this image, you'll see that it's moving steadily. And what we are making use of is the function set interval over here, which is an animation function that we've made use of. One thing to remember over here is also to apply the CSS for it, that you'll give a relative position over here. Just a moment. a relative position over here so that it can, basically move. If it's absolute or, in a static position, by default, it will not move even if you're going to, do an animation. So one thing to remember over here is to provide the positions, well, so that they can be animated. And then it is an on-click, event basically that you're applying on which you are animating it using the set interval. Okay, you are only moving it 5 pixels, basically how much time has been passed, and you're moving it ahead only towards the from left to right. Okay, and if it says if your time has passed or if it's greater than 2000, then you are going to clear the interval. That means then you'll stop it. If it's more than 2000, when it reaches 2000, then you'll stop this and you'll stop wherever it's stopping at that particular point of time. You can increase and you'll see that it's going to, go towards more towards the right hand side. So you can increase or decrease the value. Suppose you just put it as 1000, then it's only going to go a little bit forward. Okay, just like this. So this is your interval that we set, that how you need to proceed. Then this is what you are doing. You're setting it the motion, this is only for the motion that from where you are starting and taking it ahead. So this is one animation example that needs to be done. Apart from this, we are on 20th. The last is your session and cookies example, or the session and cookies in JavaScript, or the cookie management or session management that you'll be discussing about. Anyone who has an idea about session management? Oh, sorry. Session management or cookie management? What are cookies? So we'll discuss about what are cookies and what are sessions. Cookies are, a small piece of data which are, stored on our computers, and that is also, on the browser itself. So if you're ever visiting any new website, you'll see that they ask for, do you accept and, all the cookies. Then you can, right? I mean, like if you'll accept on it, then a part of the information of that particular website is saved on your browser end, right? Then the need of the cookies, you can discuss what are the advantages and disadvantages of cookies. Again, you can discuss about. Then we'll take an example of it. Then what is a session? What is a session storage object? So there is a session storage object which helps you to store the data only for that particular session. It means that the data which is stored in the session storage will be deleted when the browser is closed. So there are different kinds of session storage, local, storage also which comes. Then a page session, it lasts as long as the web browser is open and it survives over the page refresh only. So when you open a page in a new tab or window, right, the web browser, it creates a new session every time. Session timeout, you might have seen, you might have heard of it, you might have even done it. So that is, that handling also JS can handle. Cookie management also your JS can handle. So now these concepts relates to session management and cookie management, and there will be an activity also for you to perform on the same. Okay, where you will be doing session and cookie management in JavaScript. So what kind of information you can keep, you can store. Then if you need to check, what you've stored, how will you check in JavaScript in your cookies? How can you check your cookies? Cookie information on your browser. How can we check cookies in JavaScript? So how cookies exactly work, anyone? So whenever a user, it sends a request to the server, then each of that request is treated as a new request which is sent by the different user. So here to recognize the old user, you need to have cookies. If you have the cookies, the response from the server is also faster. Browser at the client side is there. Now whenever a user sends a request to the server, the cookie is being added to your request. Okay, with that request automatically, and due to that the server will be able to recognize the user and will send the data back. How we can create the cookies in JavaScript? So in JavaScript you can create, read, update and delete a cookie by using a property called as cookie property, which is from document only. So it is called document.cookie. 1 minute, where is the lab exercise for it? I'll just take 10 more, 5 more minutes and we'll be winding it up. Then we have writing this. All right, 1 minute. Oh, yes. This is the example that you'll be demonstrating for this session management and cookie management once you'll, do your theory part with the students. So you can introduce them to what is cookies, what is session management in JavaScript with the help of session storage, local storage. You can even show them, how and where on your, browser they can find the cookies that they've been created. Okay, so you can go to the cookies and you'll see the cookies created by your local system on that, whatever you're working. Even for the sessions also, you can go to inspect and you'll see for the session storage over there as well, for session information that you are storing. Now, in cookies, whenever you are doing this, you have to create a cookie. So we use a document.cookie property for it, as you can see at line number 14 over here. So this is your document.cookie property, which helps you to create a cookie. For example, there is an input. I suppose there should be an input here as well in the form. Okay, this. This is a form basically that you are creating to take, cookie information. Just making some distinction in here so that you can see. So this is a form. From here only, whatever data you're going to put, you're going to add it to a cookie. Basically, why cookie management you are doing from here. So you are filling in a data and you are setting the cookie from here. This is the first step. Then when you click on it, when you click on this button, which is, then I'm running one function or an event handler, you could say, which is write cookie. Now, when I'll go to write cookie, you will see that I'm doing the cookie management here itself in write cookie. All right. In write cookie, what I'm saying is if there is nothing entered, this is basic working, basic if else. If there is nothing entered into my, that input tag or field, then you'll return by enter some value as an alert. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to get the cookie value. You just take up the cookie value. You do the cookie dot name. Okay, this is name value pair. So if you want to store it, in your browser as a name, you want to give some name. Right here, I'm just putting name over here, but you can write full name, first name, last name, whatever. So you give that name, just simply like this, first name, right? And then the cookie value that you've actually collected from the tag itself. As simple as that. Okay, so you get that cookie value, you save it here plus cookie value, and then you can write it down even on the document.write. That means it will come on the screen for you. All right, so that is how you get the cookie. I'll show it to you. The next is your session management. That is for the sessions. Okay, first, getting or storing some data which is related to the session which is currently running in JavaScript, through JavaScript basically, which helps you to stay, logged on in, across multiple tabs or devices, or maybe maintain some security, based on that session management. So that is your sessions in JavaScript. And a session in JavaScript, it helps you to store and maintain data for a particular user as they navigate through your website or, your web application. So suppose whenever a user, they visit your website, a session will be created for that particular user. Okay, for that particular user, there will be a session. Okay, that will be created. The server is going to generate some unique identifier or for an ID, which is also called a session ID for that particular session. Now, this session ID is sent back to the user's browser and it's stored as a cookie on the client side or included in the URL also for your subsequent request. Now, every time or on each request, the browser will send this ID back to the server, and the server uses this ID to retrieve any corresponding session data, which is stored on the server side. So you can store and retrieve information in the session data as key value pairs there. Okay. Now, if you need to work with sessions again, so here they might be doing this session. So storage, this session storage which we are doing. So this is a property which is given by, window. Again, this belongs to your, this DOM only. This is a session storage property given by window object. Okay, the object is window over here for it. And here what it does, it store the session storage object. It stores or data only for a session itself. It means that the data stored in session storage will be deleted when the browser will be closed. So a page session lasts as long as the web browser will be opened or it's open, and it survives over the page refresh again. When you open a page in a new tab or a window, the web browser will create a new session for that. So if you open multiple tabs or windows with the same URL, web browser will create a separate session storage for each tab or each window there. Okay, so whatever data is stored in one web browser cannot be accessible in another tab. So remember that there are a few storage methods like set item, remove item, get item, key, clear. Okay. So are we using, we are only using this session storage only. Get item. Okay, no worries. Now, when you have to manage data in a JS session storage, you need to access. So for that, we have this session storage itself that we use in that. Okay. Now here, I think they, in this particular exercise, we're increasing the count of the session object. Okay. So let's check. Okay. See, from here, I can enter the cookie. I can set the cookie. The cookies is set. The name is SDSDD. You can go ahead and you can check in your cookies. You'll find the cookies here. Please. Cookie data. Where are the cookies? If I go in settings, where is it coming? Customize imports. Privacy, security. What is started? It should be here. All site data, third-party cookies. See all site data and permission is coming. Speak Google, you can read it now. Site. 1 minute, we can track our cookies and where it is. Privacy guide, third party app, security. Share. So I'll let you know. Matlab here itself we can see now when we go to the cookies and we can see which cookies are being set. Inspect and then expand also. Let's try on this. Expand accessibility.
Swati, you're sharing the screen or not?
No, I'm not. No, actually, I've lost one thing over here and I'm just checking where it is. Application. Application, then here, okay. Fine. So here it will come cookies. Okay, all right, got it. Basically, I was not able to track cookies. Now we have, now from where we can see. All right, so whatever was the cookie which was name equals to SDSD, we'll come to inspect. Inspect ke baad, we'll see this top bar which is there. And here we have to select application. All your session storage information, local storage, if you have indexings, web Excel, everything comes over here. Your cookies, if you're creating any cookies here, so that will also come up over here. So like I created one cookie, right, for first name. That cookie, the name and the value has been added over here itself. But this is on local, right? This is not going to persist for longer duration. That is the thing. So this is your sessions. Now you have window object. You can keep on increasing the count of it. So that means you're increasing the session storage and you can increase the count. Whenever I'm going to refresh this and you'll see the session, the information of the session has been lost over here. So let's check whether are we adding it here itself or not. Inspect. Let's go to application. So here, from here, we can check session storage. For local storage, this is the first time the click count is also increasing. You know, see 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's going to increase over here. If I'm going to, close this, if I close this and if I run it again, so then you will see that session storage object would have been lost. Okay. And again, if you're going to go and check, so that means it only persists for that particular time itself. So there is nothing over here. I can still start increasing and then only the click count will be stored over here. So that is how you can, show that how session storage works in, JavaScript, and about the cookie management, that you can have cookies. We also need to, require some information sometimes that we pick up from the cookies itself, and that can be discussed even, with a student. All right, so I'll be wrapping over here. So I've wrapped up over here. Any confusion regarding maybe any other thing, then you can reach out. At 2 p.m. we have your session, with for Python. I hope you'll be able to join that back.
Yes.
Yes, okay. If you need some time, I'll check with the Ramar. He can start some 15 minutes late. Okay. And then we can proceed on to that as well. All right, everyone. Shall you take care? Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.